Yeah, Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. Today, again, we have with us an art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Dharma Sansthan. Today, we are going to discuss about the future of Ayodhya and how the completion of the Ram temple in Ayodhya has changed the landscape of the entire state and the city. So let's begin. So, what does the completion of the Ram temple signify beyond religious devotion? Jagadev, and thank you for joining us today. So, the completion of the Ram temple marks not just the revival of a monument but the reawakening of Dharma in its purest essence, righteousness, inclusivity, and awareness. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji often says, religion divides, but spirituality unites. Ayodhya's transformation is not about one faith triumphing, but about the human spirit reclaiming its right. Ram Rajya, as Gurudev explains, is an inner kingdom where wisdom rules, truth guides, and compassion governs. When devotion merges with knowledge, a civilization flourishes. Ayodhya's Ram temple is the embodiment of that union, the sacred heart meeting the scientific mind. Indeed, Ram Temple is not an end point but a beginning, the foundation of Yuga Parivartan, the transformation of an era. For 500 years, this land bore pain, but now it radiates energy that will transform not just India but the entire planet. Like the Vatican for Christianity or Mecca for Islam, Ayodhya will become the global center for Vedic consciousness where science and spirituality will merge. Rituals, homas, and yagyas performed here will generate vibrational purity that uplifts the collective mind. Ayodhya's true temple is not of stone but of awareness. How can the vision of Ram Rajya be understood in today's context? Ram Rajya is not a monarchy, it's a mindset of harmony and selflessness. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji explains Ram Rajya begins when the ruler becomes a servant. It's a system where governance is infused with seva, citizens live by satya, and leadership is driven by viveka or discernment. In a modern sense, Ram Rajya symbolizes balance between tradition and technology, economy and ecology, progress and peace. The art of living has always emphasized that outer prosperity must be rooted in inner stillness. Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, and wisdom create that calm, clear intellect which alone can sustain prosperity. Ram Rajya means each citizen becomes a reflection of Sri Rama, calm, responsible, and dharmic. Gurudev's global mission resonates with this idea, empowering individuals with values, self knowledge, and service. Ram Raja in the 21st century means renewable energy instead of greed, respect for women as embodiments of Shakti, and education that teaches both AI, that is, artificial intelligence, and Atmagyan, or the self knowledge. When both are balanced, Ayodhya will naturally lead the world as a beacon of enlightened progress. Now, how will Ayodhya evolve as a global hub of spiritual tourism and research? Ayodhya's potential is limitless. Gurudev often envisions spiritual hubs where ancient wisdom meets modern innovation. Imagine a city where meditation centers are alongside AI research labs, where silence and science coexist. Srish University has already pioneered this model in Odisha. Ayodhya can become its northern counterpart with a world class Art of Living International Center. Global scholars, yogis, and scientists could gather to explore consciousness, neuroplasticity, and quantum spirituality. We foresee research centers where Yagya Shastra, Ayurveda, and Vastu are scientifically studied, documented, and digitized. Vedic Dharma Sansthan will preserve the oral traditions while collaborating with global universities for scientific validation. Rituals like Rudrabhishekams and Navgraha Homas can be correlated with cosmic energy studies. Spiritual tourism will not only bring prosperity but awareness. Devotees will come not just to pray but to learn to transform. Now, what role will technology play in building this futuristic Ayodhya? Technology is sacred when guided by wisdom. Gurudev says science tells you how, spirituality tells you why. In futuristic Ayodhya, technology will serve humanity, not enslave it. Smart governance systems, AI driven waste management, renewable energy grids, and blockchain based transparency will make Ayodhya a model city. The Art of Living has already used AI in education, health, and environment projects. The same can scale up here. Imagine an app that connects visitors to live chants, meditation sessions, and homas, bringing divine experience into digital space. Now, even temple management will evolve from online darshan to holographic recitations of Ramayana in multiple languages, drone based flower showers during festivals, AI driven heritage preservation, and 3D mapping of sacred sites will make devotion accessible to all. Yet, the guiding principle will be humility, zero ego. The more advanced we become, the more surrendered we remain to Sri Rama. Now, how will Ayodhya ensure zero ego in the minds and the midst of such abundance? Through sadhana, seva, and satsang, Gurudev often reminds us that the purpose of growth is not to inflate the ego, but to dissolve it. Abundance without awareness leads to arrogance. Awareness without abundance leads to stagnation. In Ayodhya, we envision schools where children learn meditation before mathematics, corporations where CEOs begin meetings with pranayama, and leaders who meditate together before policy decisions. When breath, awareness, and gratitude become culture, ego cannot survive. Even temples and rituals will emphasize humility. Priests and devotees will share equal ground in worship. Every ceremony, whether Guru Puja, Agnikara, or Navratri Homa, will remind us that everything is divine. Offering Aham Brahmasmi will not inflate pride but dissolve separation. When technology bows to spirituality and power bows to peace, that will be true zero ego Ayodhya. Now, how will the education evolve in Ayodhya under this vision? Education will no longer be rote learning but awakening. Gurudev emphasizes education that builds character, not just career. Schools in Ayodhya will integrate yoga, Sanskrit, neuroscience, and environmental ethics. Children will be taught meditation as naturally as they are taught reading. Imagine universities offering dual degrees, one in quantum physics, another in Upanishadic psychology. The Art of Living says youth empowerment seminar, yes, and Know Your Child programs already train students to balance mind, emotion, and intellect. The same spirit will permeate Ayodhya's educational blueprint. Now, Ayodhya's future universities will research not only material sciences but spiritual sciences of Prana Vidya, Sankhya, Ayurveda, and Vastu Shastra. With Vedic Dharma Sansthan, education will regain its sacredness. Learning will again be seen as Vidyadan, not business. As in ancient times, Gurukulas will coexist with modern institutions, both nurturing ethical leaders and awakened citizens. Now, how can Ayodhya become a global model for sustainable living? Jai Gurudev, so Ayodhya must mirror nature. Gurudev has often says and said that the environment is not separate from you. You are the environment. Future Ayodhya will be powered by solar grids, rainwater harvesting, and green architecture. The Art of Living has restored over 80 rivers across India. This experience will make the Saryu flow like Gaumukh once again. Waste will turn to compost and air will hum with mantras, not pollution. Vedic texts offer deep environmental wisdom. The Agni Purana and Atharva Veda teach sustainable coexistence. Our homas and yagyas are not superstition but cosmic ecological processes, purifying air, aligning energies. When modern ecology meets Vedic ritual science, Ayodhya will become the cleanest and the greenest sacred city in the world. Now, what will be the role of women in a futuristic Ayodhya? In Ram Rajya, women were embodiments of strength and wisdom, from Sita's resilience to Kaushalya's compassion. Gurudev's movement has empowered millions of women through leadership, entrepreneurship, and spiritual education. In Ayodhya, women will lead schools, temples, research labs, and governments as equals and guides. Programs like Women of Wisdom and Art Excel will shape generations of fearless, meditative women who combine intellect with intuition. Now, what would governance look like in the futuristic Ram Rajya of Ayodhya? In Gurudev's vision, true governance is self governance. When the mind is still, the intellect clear, and the heart compassionate, the decisions we make are naturally just. In futuristic Ayodhya, governance will blend spiritual ethics with technological precision. Public servants will meditate daily, ensuring clarity over chaos. Transparency powered by blockchain, policies shaped by empathy, and digital citizen participation platforms will define Ram Rajya. It will be governance by consciousness, not by compulsion. Gurudev once said, a ruler who meditates creates a kingdom that prospers effortlessly. Ram Rajya was a model of dharmic administration. Each minister embodied a value, truth, compassion, or service. The new Ayodhya will revive that spirit using modern systems. Dharma will guide data, compassion will guide code, and leaders will be sevak rulers, remembering that power is divine trust. As described in Valmiki Ramayana, Ram's rule was without sorrow. This sorrowless state emerges only when leaders live in truth. Now, how will the spiritual values influence the legal and judicial systems of Ayodhya? Justice in Ram Rajya was rooted in Viveka or discrimination and Karuna or compassion. In the future Ayodhya, judiciary will integrate restorative justice with meditative rehabilitation. Courts will have meditation rooms where disrupting parties sit in silence before hearings. Many conflicts dissolve when silence speaks. Gurudev's Art of Living Prison program has shown how even hardened offenders transform through meditation. Imagine it's a national application in Ayodhya's justice system. Truth will not just be judged, it will be experienced. Vedic justice was based on Satya and Dharma, not mere technicalities. Ancient courts had sages as advisors who read the subtle vibrations of truth. In future Ayodhya, AI may analyze data, but spiritual counselors will read intention. Punishment will be replaced by purification and true seva. Now, how will the concept of governance evolve in futuristic Ayodhya? In His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji's vision, true governance is self governance. He often says a ruler should be so loving that people feel ruled by their own heart. In Ayodhya 3000, governance will merge transparency with compassion. Artificial intelligence will handle administration efficiently, while spiritual intelligence ensures ethical conduct. Policies will be designed after collective meditation and consultations with the spiritual and scientific communities. Decisions will prioritize the happiness index over mere GDP. Leaders will meditate before meetings. Ministers will be trained in stress free leadership programs. By the art of living, Ram Rajya will not be imposed, it will be experienced as governance from consciousness. Now, from the Vedic perspective, Raja Dharma means responsibility to uphold truth, justice, and compassion. Future governance will reflect King Dashrath's discipline and Sri Ram's humility. Governance will operate like a yagya, every department offering its best for collective welfare. Rajya Sabha sessions will open with Sankalpa mantra, invoking divine guidance. No decision will be ego driven. Everything will align with Dharma. Governance will thus transform into Seva Rajya, or the rule of service. Now, what kind of leadership will guide Ayodhya in the coming centuries? Leadership in the age of consciousness will be spiritual, scientific, and service oriented. Gurudev says a true leader creates more leaders, not followers. In Ayodhya, leaders will be trained in emotional intelligence, meditation, and wisdom literature. They will know how to balance intellect with intuition. The Art of Living leadership training programs will be integral to civic education. Imagine mayors and ministers trained in pranayama and sudarshan kriya, able to make calm, compassionate decisions even in crisis. That is Ram Rajya leadership reborn. Now, in Vedic governance, the king's heart beats with the people's joy and sorrow. The Upanishads describe such leaders as Rajarishis, those who live and rule with wisdom, not pride. Future Ayodhya will produce Rajarishis again, enlightened administrators, technocrats, and social reformers whose only motivation is lok kalyana, the public welfare. Leadership will be seen as sacred duty, not privilege. Now, how will the Ayodhya integrate science and spirituality in innovation? Gurudev teaches that science and spirituality are two wings of the same bird, both essential for fight. Ayodhya's innovation hubs will combine AI, robotics, and biotechnology with ancient yogic sciences. Researchers will explore consciousness technology, decoding meditation's impact on neurobiology and emotional health. The Art of Living's Institute of Absolute Intelligence will collaborate with tech universities to study intuition, brain waves, and healing through mantras. Ayodhya will be a living laboratory where silence fuels invention. In the Vedas, innovation or prayoga was guided by dharma. Our ancestors discovered astronomical truths, metallurgy, and mathematics through meditation. Future Ayodhya will reclaim that heritage. Laboratories besides temples, quantum physicists studying Omkar vibrations, and architects designing Vastu perfect smart cities. Science will no longer deny the sacred, it will serve it. Now, how will the Ayodhya set an example for interfaith harmony and global unity? Gurudev has always said the world is one family, or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Ayodhya will be that family's home. Interfaith centers will host dialogues among saints, scientists, imams, rabbis, and monks, uniting humanity in shared silence. Meditation halls open to all faiths will symbolize inclusion. Ram Rajya stands for truth that transcends religion. The Art of Living is global experience and conflict resolution. From Colombia to Iraq will ensure Ayodhya becomes a peace capital. Now, the Ramayana's essence is universal truth, courage, and compassion. In Ayodhya, pilgrims of every background will find belonging. The Sarva Dharma Sabha will host spiritual festivals celebrating diversity. When namaz, bhajan, and meditation coexist under the same sky, Ayodhya will fulfill its destiny, the heart of global harmony. Now, what infrastructure will define the futuristic Ayodhya 1,000 years ahead? A city of light, clean, green, self sustaining, and spiritually vibrant, smart transportation networks, driverless electric vehicles, AI integrated with space systems, and holographic tourist guides will blend with serene meditation parks and yoga corridors. Every street will echo with mantras and music. Saryu Ghats will host laser projected Ramayana retellings powered by renewable energy. The Art of Living campus will serve as a spiritual Silicon Valley where technology uplifts consciousness. Temples will coexist with digital sanctuaries, every deity radiating an augmented reality for global devotees. Underground energy efficient tunnels, sacred eco hospitals, and solar mandalas on rooftops will make Ayodhya a global eco urban model. Architecture will follow Vastu and sacred geometry, technology wrapped in divinity. Now, how will the employment and economy thrive in this vision? Economy will become economy driven by ethics, ecology, and empathy. Gurudev emphasizes Artha must serve Dharma. In Ayodhya, jobs will arise in renewable energy, spiritual tourism, wellness, education, and cultural exports. The Art of Living entrepreneurship programs will help a youth blend business with mindfulness. Workplaces will have meditation pods and breath zones where innovation grows from inner peace. Prosperity will not mean greed but gratitude. Ayodhya's economic model will mirror ancient trade balanced by dharma. Temples will sustain local artisans, Ayurvedic farms, and eco crafts. Women's cooperatives will flourish through seva sanghas. Every rupee earned will circulate with a consciousness. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu guiding. The market economy will thus become a sacred exchange, not exploitation. Now, how will education evolve further for citizens of Ayodhya 3000? Education will be lifelong meditation. Gurudev envisions education that connects head, heart, and hands. Future universities will teach cosmic sciences, ethics, and AI, and meditative computing. Students will learn science and silence as a skill. The Art of Living as Wisdom schools will offer courses on Bhagavad Gita for youth, mindful leadership, and conscious entrepreneurship. Teachers will be facilitators of joy, not stress. Vedic Gurukulas will return in modern form, integrating online learning with experiential Vedic wisdom. Students will begin each day with the Sandhya Vandanam and end with gratitude meditation. The goal will be awakening wisdom and not collecting degrees. Education will once again become Vidya or illumination. Now, how will art, music, and culture shape the new Ayodhya? Jayadev, art is the breath of civilization, Gurudev says. When the heart blossoms, creativity flows. Ayodhya will host world class cultural festivals fusing classical and futuristic art forms. Imagine digital Ramayana ballads, AI generated ragas based on meditation frequency, and an 8D sound concerts of Vedic chants. The Art of Living's World Culture Festival model will expand yearly on Sarius's banks, uniting global performers in harmony. Every Yagya Mandapa will also be a music hall. Vedic hymns will blend with symphonies. Artists will meditate before performing, channeling divine vibrations. Art will not entertain, it will elevate. The entire city will sing, every wall painted with verses of love and wisdom. Now, how will the Art of Living and Vedic Sun collaborate to guide Ayodhya's evolution? This synergy is natural. The Art of Living brings universal spirituality, and Vedic Dhamma anchors authentic ritual heritage. Together, they will create a city where satsang meets science and meditation meets mantra. Programs like Sudarshan Kriya, Guru Puja, and Navratri Homas and advanced meditation retreats will be seamlessly integrated with Vedic education. The collaboration ensures balance. Technology powered by transcendence, Vedic Dhamma will ensure every ritual aligns with the scriptural purity, while Art of Living spreads it globally. Together, we will digitize Vedic chants, record ancient traditions, and create accessible learning for the world. Their union will be like Rama and Vishwamitra, wisdom meeting discipline for cosmic good. Now, how can His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Jesus' teachings guide Ayodhya's future citizens? Gurudev's wisdom is timeless. His teachings smile more, serve more, and meditate more are the blueprint for Ram Rajya. He reminds us that peace in the mind creates peace in the world. Ayodhya's 3,000 citizens will live by this, meditating daily, serving selflessly, and acting from awareness. His books, talks, and courses will form Ayodhya's moral compass, ensuring progress without losing purity. Gurudev represents the spirit of Sri Ram, serenity amidst chaos, strength amidst compassion. His emphasis on unity, joy, and service will be guiding light for generations. As long as one person in Ayodhya breathes in awareness, Ram Rajya will thrive eternally. Now, how can the ancient wisdom of His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Jesus guide the futuristic vision of Ayodhya for the next 1,000 years? Gurudev's vision of a one world family Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is the perfect guiding principle for Ayodhya's evolution. For centuries, Ayodhya has been a sacred city, but Gurudev teaches us that spirituality and progress go hand in hand. His wisdom combines ancient Vedic knowledge with the practical modern living. In the next 1,000 years, as Ayodhya transforms into a global city of peace and prosperity, Gurudev's teachings on meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, and Seva will be the foundation. These practices will help people balance technology with inner calm. Just as we build smart cities, Gurudev reminds us to build smart minds full of compassion, creativity, and clarity. Ayodhya can lead the world as a model city where every citizen lives with dignity, wisdom, and purpose. As scriptures speak of Ram Rajya, a time when there was no sorrow, no hunger, no inequality, Gurudev's message revives this sense in a modern context. Through Art of Living's 60 plus programs, from youth empowerment to stress relief and leadership training, Ayodhya can nurture balanced leaders and conscious citizens. The homas, the pujas, and the Agni Karyams performed by our Sansthan purify the collective consciousness. Together, Art of Living and Vedic Dharma Sansthan can make Ayodhya not just the spiritual capital of India, but the global epicenter of Dharma, science, and sustainability. Now, how will the Art of Living's approach to holistic education shape the future of Ayodhya's youth? Gurudev always emphasizes that education should not only fill the brain but also nurture the heart. The future Ayodhya will have schools and universities inspired by Shishi University and Shishi Academy, SSRVM models, where modern science, Vedic knowledge, yoga, music, and meditation blend seamlessly. Imagine an Ayodhya where every child learns coding alongside chanting the Vedas. Where technology meets consciousness, our youth will be scientists with compassion, entrepreneurs with ethics, and leaders with wisdom. Through the Yes Plus and youth leadership training programs, we are preparing the generation that will lead Ayodhya into 1,000 years of peace, prosperity, and innovation. In the Gurukul tradition, education was about Atmagyan, knowing oneself. As modern Ayodhya develops futuristic campuses, our Sansthan will integrate Vedic rituals like Upanayanam, Sandhya Vandanam, and daily meditation into the learning process. Students will not only excel in knowledge but also in discipline, service, and humility. This is how Ram Rajya will be reborn in classrooms that teach both quantum physics and quietude, AI, and awareness. Now, what role will meditation and Sudarshan Kriya play in creating a peaceful global Ayodhya? Gurudev, meditation is the oxygen for the soul. Gurudev says that when the mind is free from stress, creativity blossoms and love flows naturally. Imagine millions in Ayodhya meditating together near the Saryu River, meditating and creating a vibration so pure that it heals not just the city but the entire planet. Sudarshan Kriya aligns the body, breath, and mind. It removes emotional toxins, bringing clarity and joy. A city filled with such meditative citizens will automatically become a city of peace and progress. The vibration of a collective meditation is equivalent to thousands of yagyas. In our sansan, we will organize Trikal Sandhya, Guru Puja, and Mahasudarshan Homas that synchronize with Art of Living's meditation programs. When spiritual practices are performed with the power of Sankalpa and devotion, nature itself aligns. Future Ayodhya will radiate a calmness that will attract seekers, scientists, and leaders alike. How will the Ram Rajya manifest to economic and social prosperity in future Ayodhya? Gurudev often says spirituality is not opposed to prosperity, it is the foundation of prosperity. Ram Rajya means everyone has abundance, both material and emotional. As industries, universities, and tech companies rise, the Art of Living's corporate programs will ensure ethical business, stress free workplaces, and mindful leadership. When CEOs meditate and workers feel valued, productivity and compassion merge. This is true development. Now, economic growth must be rooted in dharma. In ancient Ayodhya, trade and wealth were guided by spiritual ethics. In the future, with the guidance of Gurudev and support from Ayurvedic rituals, Ayodhya will attract sustainable industries, renewable energy, Ayurveda, organic farming, and education. The wealth generated will not be hoarded, it will be shared in seva and welfare. Ram Rajya will thus become a living example of Lok Kalyan, the well being of all. How will technology and spirituality coexist in the futuristic Ayodhya envisioned for the next 1,000 years? His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi beautifully says, technology gives comfort to the body, spirituality gives comfort to the soul. The new Ayodhya will be an example of this harmony. Artificial intelligence, robotics, and digital connectivity will thrive, but the human spirit will remain central in the art of living. We teach how to use technology consciously, not compulsively. Imagine an Ayodhya where even the most advanced AI systems are guided by Dharmic principles, where digital tools are used for education, health, and seva rather than distraction. Every innovation will be powered by intention, not just to earn profit, but to uplift humanity. Meditation and wisdom will balance rapid growth with the inner peace. Now, in our tradition, we call this Yukti and Bhakti, the union of intellect and devotion. The great sages of yore use science for spiritual growth, constructing observatories, calculating celestial motions, and performing precise yajnas. In futuristic Ayodhya, we will revive this synthesis with Gurudev's guidance. Temples will become centers of research. Homas will purify the environment, and technology will serve dharma. Robotics can assist in daily rituals. Satellite networks can broadcast mantras and wisdom globally, and digital platforms can connect devotees and seekers worldwide. Thus, the modern Ayodhya will be the bridge between ancient consciousness and futuristic intelligence. Now, what will be the vision for environmental rejuvenation and ecological balance in Ayodhya? Gurudev has always reminded us that nature is not separate from us, it is part of our very breath. Through initiatives like river rejuvenation projects and Green Earth Movement, Art of Living has revived thousands of rivers and planted millions of trees. In Ayodhya, our goal will be to make the Saryu River as pristine as the Ganga at Gomukh, with sustainable water management, organic agriculture, and solar energy and eco meditation parks. Ayodhya will become a model for global ecology. Meditation naturally makes people more sensitive to nature. When the mind is calm, one cannot harm the environment. The Agni Karyams and the Yagyas of our Sansthan purify the air and strengthen the elemental balance. Every mantra chanted during a Homa resonates with the environment and purifies subtle vibrations. In the coming centuries, Ayodhya will have Panchamahabhuta sanctuaries dedicated to earth, water, fire, air, and space, where spiritual values and scientific environmental practices will blend. Just as Lord Rama respected nature during his exile, future generations will see divinity in every tree and river. Ayodhya will be Earth's ecological heart chakra, healing the planet through consciousness and care. Now, how will women empowerment shape the Ayodhya of the future? In Gurudev's words, when women are honored, divinity blossoms. Ram Rajya was not patriarchal, it was balanced, compassionate, and inclusive. In modern Ayodhya, women will lead in governance, spirituality, education, and innovation through Art of Living's Women Empowerment and Childcare WECC programs. Thousands of women are already becoming self reliant and respected. In the Ayodhya of the next millennium, women will not just participate, they will shape every decision. Every ashram, university, and office will embody Shakti Tattva, the energy of inclusion, creativity, and leadership guided by compassion. In our Vedic system, goddesses represent strength, wisdom, and purity, Lakshmi for prosperity, Saraswati for knowledge, and Durga for protection. In futuristic Ayodhya, temples and humas dedicated to the Ashtalakshmi and Navadurga will continuously energize the feminine principle. Women priests, Vedic scholars, and spiritual scientists will emerge from Ayodhya. The sacred balance of Shiva and Shakti will be the cornerstone of this city's governance and growth. A society that honors women automatically attracts abundance, health, and happiness. Now, what will be the role of health, Ayurveda, and well being in modern Ayodhya? Health will not be limited to hospitals, it will be a way of life. Gurudev often says prevention is better than cure and awareness is better than prevention. Future Ayodhya will have integrated wellness systems, modern hospitals alongside Sri Sri Ayurveda and Panchakarma centers. People will heal through diet, yoga, pranayama, and meditation. Technology will track wellness patterns, but the real healing will come from balanced lifestyles and joyful minds. Mental health will no longer be a stigma, it will be addressed through group meditations and knowledge sessions across the city. Ayurveda is not just medicine, it is the rhythm of life. In our homas, we use specific herbs to purify the atmosphere and strengthen immunity. Every ritual will have a health aspect, spiritual vibrations that restore the balance of doshas of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. In futuristic Ayodhya, we will have Ayurveda tech parks where AI and ancient diagnostics meet. The body will be treated as a temple, and each citizen will understand the art of balanced living. When Dharma and Ayurveda unite, illness will be rare and longevity will flourish. How will the art of living in Vedic Samsthan ensure global spiritual tourism in Ayodhya? Gurudev envisions Ayodhya as a spiritually united nations, a place where people of every faith can come to meditate, learn, and celebrate life. Our ashrams will serve as hubs for international retreats, teacher training, and wisdom courses. Visitors will experience Sudarshan Kriya by the Saryu, satsangs at the Ram Temple Plaza, and seva projects across villages. Spiritual tourism here won't be about sightseeing, it will be about soul seeing. People will leave transformed, stress free, inspired, and connected to humanity. Our Sansthan will guide rituals and Vedic ceremonies that give tourists a glimpse of India's sacred essence. Homams like Vishnu Sahasranama, Yagya, Hanuman Chalisa Parayanams, and Sri Ram Navami Mahotsava will be performed daily, blending devotion with grandeur. The fusion of ancient rituals and modern infrastructure will make Ayodhya a must visit for seekers, scientists, and statesmen. Every visitor will take home not just memories but vibrations of peace and abundance. Now, how will the principle of zero ego, as taught by Gurudev, shape the governance of future Ayodhya? Gurudev's message is clear: ego divides, love unites. In the governance of Ayodhya, this wisdom will be the key. Leadership training based on self awareness, humility will be mandatory for public servants, meditation sessions before cabinet meetings, knowledge discussions in educational councils, and seva programs for all bureaucrats will be part of the governance culture. When leaders operate from egolessness, corruption dissolves and efficiency blossoms. The kings of ancient Ayodhya ruled as servants of Dharma, not masters of the people. This principle will be revived. Homas and Vedic invocations will be performed before major decisions, aligning policies with the divine will. The administrators of Ayodhya will function like rishis, wise, selfless, and transparent. When governance itself becomes a spiritual practice, Ram Rajya will be eternal, not just symbolic. Now, how will futuristic architecture and urban design reflect the spirit of Ram Rajya in modern Ayodhya? His Holiness Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji often reminds us that beauty and divinity are intertwined. Aesthetics elevate consciousness. The architecture of future Ayodhya will embody this principle. Every building, from the smallest home to the tallest tower, will radiate harmony between form, function, and spirit. Temples will use sacred geometry, Vastu Shastra, eco friendly materials. Meditation domes will align with planetary positions, and glass and steel skyscrapers will have gardens and prayer halls at their cores. The city's layout will reflect a mandala with the Ram temple as the Bindu or the center, and concentric zones of education, wellness, culture, and innovation radiating outward. Art of Living's design philosophy, simplicity with their sacredness, will guide every structure. In our Sansthan, we consider architecture an offering to the divine. The original Ayodhya was planned according to Vastu and cosmic alignment. The palace of Rama, the Saryu Ghats, and the temples formed an energetic network. The futuristic Ayodhya will revive the science. Homas and Bhumi Pujas will sanctify every project. Every digital infrastructure will follow dharmic principles, balance, symmetry, and energy flow. The streets will echo ancient chants in the morning and light up with solar powered diyas at night. Thus, Ayodhya's skyline will reflect both the future and the eternal, the glory of Dharma in modern form. Now, how will the global collaborations help make Ayodhya a spiritual and technological powerhouse? Gurudev's global vision has already reached over 180 countries, connecting millions through meditation and humanitarian service. Future Ayodhya will extend this reach even further. Think of collaborations between Shisha University and leading global institutions like MIT, Stanford, and Tokyo University, exploring consciousness, AI, and sustainable living together. Technology leaders will come to Ayodhya to learn the art of mindful innovation, where artificial intelligence merges with Atmagyana or self knowledge. The art of living will facilitate cultural and corporate partnerships to make Ayodhya a hub of global peace leadership. The Vedas are not for one country, they are for the world through international conferences, digital platforms, and online yagyas. A Sansthan will make Vedic wisdom accessible globally. Scientists, economists, and spiritual seekers will work together in Ayodhya to explore how ancient wisdom can solve modern crises. This is not about converting anyone, it's about uniting humanity through knowledge. Ayodhya will become a universal university of consciousness where the East and West meet, not to debate but to meditate. Now, how will Ayodhya ensure harmony among all religions and belief systems in the coming millennium? Gurudev's message is simple: spirituality unites, religion divides. Ayodhya's spiritual ecosystem will welcome everyone: the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians, and the Buddhists, and the atheists. All will find a space to meditate, serve, and celebrate life. The Ram Temple will not be a symbol of exclusion but of inclusion. The Art of Living's interfaith programs and peace dialogues will continue to bridge communities. The common prayer will be silence, the common offering will be seva. This will be the true essence of Ram Rajya, unity in diversity without dogma or division. Now, the Vedas proclaim Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one, say just call it by many names. This eternal wisdom will form the foundation of interreligious harmony. In Ayodhya, every month, our Sansan will host Sarva Dharma Sammelans, where leaders of all faiths gather for peace, yagyas, and collective meditations. No discrimination, no fear, only shared devotion. Ayodhya will shine as the earth's capital of peace, where diversity is celebrated as divine expression. Now, how will the futuristic education systems in Ayodhya merge Vedic and modern sciences? Education in Ayodhya will no longer be about rote learning, it will be about realizing one's potential. Srish University's model of combining Vedic wisdom with modern disciplines will expand into dozens of institutions. Students will study Upanishads alongside astrophysics, meditation alongside robotics, and Sanskrit grammar alongside quantum computing. Knowledge will be experiential, not just intellectual. Gurudev says education should create a human being, not just a professional. Thus, Ayodhya's universities will produce compassionate scientists, ethical entrepreneurs, and wise leaders. Our Gurukuls will become research hubs where Vedic mathematics, cosmology, and Ayurveda are taught with scientific precision. Students will perform homas for concentration, meditate for clarity, and engage in seva for empathy. Every discipline, be it architecture, engineering, medicine, will have a dharmic foundation. Education will not be for earning degrees, it will be for awakening consciousness. Ayodhya's scholars will lead the world by showing that science and spirituality are not opposites, but complementary paths to the same truth. How will Ayodhya integrate sustainable and spiritual tourism with advanced infrastructure? Gurudev emphasizes experience over exhibition. Tourists will not just visit Ayodhya, they will experience transformation. The Saryu riverfront will host meditation zones, yoga domes, and sound healing spaces. Smart transport, autonomous electric vehicles, solar ferries, and Hyperloop rail will make the city accessible while preserving serenity. Every tourist will be invited to participate in seva, satsang, and environmental restoration, not just sightseeing. The tourism model will be based on karma and connection, not consumerism. Spiritual tourism will revolve around the Rama circuit, sacred routes connecting Ayodhya, Chitrakoot, Panchavati, and Rameshwaram. Temples will offer guided Vedic rituals, chanting sessions, and learning programs for visitors. AI guided tours will narrate the Ramayana in all global languages, while our Sansan will ensure rituals are performed authentically. Even technology here will be sanctified. Holographic darshans, virtual yagyas, and immersive kirtans will let seekers worldwide feel the pulse of Ayodhya. Now, how will Ayodhya influence global consciousness and interplanetary spirituality in the coming millennium? Gurudev says the next revolution will be the revolution in consciousness. As humanity explores Mars and beyond, Ayodhya will serve as the Earth's spiritual mission control. Scientists and astronauts will come here for consciousness training before space missions. Meditation centers will connect with the orbital satellites, broadcasting peace mantras across the solar system. Through Art of Living programs, Ayodhya will radiate a sattva vibration, uplifting humanity's collective frequency. The Ram temple's vibrations will anchor spiritual stability for all beings, earthly and cosmic alike. In the Yajurveda, it is said, as above, so below. The universe is but a reflection of consciousness. The rituals and Agni Karyams of Ayodhya will extend this connection. Cosmic Yajna synchronized with the planetary alignments, invoking balance across galaxies. The future sages of Ayodhya will not only interpret the Vedas, but also explore cosmic energy through meditation and scientific study. The Ayodhya of the next 1,000 years will be the dharmic heartbeat of the universe, where devotion meets discovery and spirituality guides space age civilization. Now, how will the seva or selfless service become the foundation of Ayodhya's future society? His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji says, Seva is the expression of love, and love is the essence of life. The futuristic Ayodhya will thrive on this simple yet profound truth. Every citizen, from students to professionals, will engage in at least one act of Seva daily. Seva will no longer be a charitable activity, it will be a civic duty and a spiritual celebration. Programs like Volunteer for a Better India, VBI, and Shri Shri Rural Development Program, the SSRDP, and Project Green Earth will create a culture where service becomes the heartbeat of governance. Cleanliness drives, community education, and women's empowerment and mental health outreach will be expressions of devotion to Lord Rama. This will ensure that Ayodhya remains not just prosperous but compassionate. In our scriptures, a seva is called yagya, an offering made without expecting anything in return. Just King Rama ruled selflessly, the citizens of Ayodhya will serve selflessly. The Sansthan will establish a seva kendras in every district, where rituals will be paired with practical social service, feeding the poor after Homa, planting trees after every puja, and donating to education through temple funds. Spirituality will thus become tangible through seva, the mind purifies, the ego dissolves, and collective consciousness rises. This is how Ram Rajya will manifest through hearts that serve before they seek. Now, how will the AI and digital dharma networks be used to spread Gurudev's wisdom in the next millennium? Gurudev's message of see the unseen and know the unknown perfectly aligns with the digital future. Artificial intelligence will become a tool to expand human consciousness, not replace it. Through advanced digital dharma networks, every art of living talk, meditation, and wisdom session will be available in real time across languages and continents. AI driven consciousness simulators will help seekers meditate with guidance customized to their emotional states. A global meditation grid will synchronize breath patterns of millions across the world for planetary harmony. Technology will thus serve as a new temple carrying vibrations of peace, wisdom, and joy to every corner of the earth. The Vedas speak of Anantagyan, infinite knowledge. In futuristic Ayodhya, we will create AI archives of Vedic chants, homas, and rituals, ensuring that no mantra is ever lost. Algorithm will analyze astrological and energetic patterns to determine ideal times for planetary yagyas. Blockchain will be used for temple transparency, ensuring donations directly fund spiritual and social upliftment. Technology will no longer be mechanical, it will become sacred. With the Gurudev's guidance, a fusion of AI and Dharma will create the first ever consciousness internet connecting souls, not just servers. Now, how will the Ayodhya inspire global peace missions through meditation and collective intention? The peace begins within. Gurudev's global peace missions have already ended conflicts in Iraq, Sri Lanka, and Colombia through meditation and dialogue. In the next 1,000 years, Ayodhya will be the global headquarters for peace building. Every full moon, many millions will join global online meditations from the Ram Temple, sending waves of calm across nations. Diplomats and world leaders will train in art of living peace leadership programs to resolve conflicts through empathy and awareness. Gurudev often says, a calm mind is the strongest weapon for peace. From Ayodhya, this principle will ripple across borders, disarming hatred and dissolving divisions. In our tradition, collective yagyas have the power to pacify planetary disturbances. We will conduct a Vishwa Shanti Homas and Samashti Rudra Yagyas to purify the global atmosphere. The vibrations generated by thousands of priests chanting together will neutralize negative karmas and harmonize cosmic energies. When diplomacy is supported by devotion and power and policy by prayer, true peace is inevitable. Ayodhya will be the world's energy capital of harmony, where every mantra contributes to world balance. Now, how will the temple economy of Ayodhya sustain prosperity without materialism? Gurudev reminds us that true wealth is contentment. The future temple economy of Ayodhya will resolve around dharma and dana, the righteousness and giving. Rather than commercializing faith, the Ram temple and associated spiritual centers will generate value through wellness tourism, Vedic education, ethical trade, and artisanal industries. Art of Living's rural development initiatives will ensure fair wages and dignified employment for locals. Even technology parks and industries will follow dharmic economics, profit with purpose. This spiritual capitalism will make Ayodhya wealthy without greed, powerful without pride. Now, the Sansthan will oversee transparent temple management, ensuring donations are used for social good, hospitals, schools, river cleaning, and renewable projects. Every ritual will be paired with an act of charity. The Annadana Yojana, or the free food distribution, and Gau Seva Kendra will feed millions daily. Artisans, Vedic scholars, and women entrepreneurs will thrive through temple linked enterprises. When the economy is rooted in selflessness, Lakshmi or prosperity naturally flows. This model will be studied worldwide as the Ayodhya economy of consciousness. Now, how will the rural and village development around Ayodhya reflect the principles of Ram Rajya? Gurudev often says India lives in its villages. In Ram Rajya, prosperity must reach the last person. In Art of Living's rural development programs, which have already transformed thousands of villages with clean water, solar energy, organic farming, and women empowerment, will expand exponentially. In Ayodhya's surroundings, villagers will be smart yet spiritual, using digital tools for education and market access. While maintaining dharmic traditions, rural youth will be trained in yoga, leadership, and entrepreneurship. Ayodhya's prosperity will radiate outward in concentric circles, ensuring no one is left behind. Now, in ancient times, every village around Ayodhya was a sacred extension of the kingdom. Each had its own temples, gardens, and learning centers. We will revive this. Each village will have and host monthly yagyas for rain, harvest, and health. Farmers will be trained in cow based natural farming, cow based agriculture, and varied crop production. Festivals will promote community harmony and sustainability. When Dharma governs daily life and Seva uplifts every home, the village becomes a temple and the temple becomes a home. That is the true essence of Ram Rajya. Now, how can the wisdom of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji inspire Ayodhya to integrate spiritual science with technological innovation? Gurudev often says science explores matter, spirituality explores consciousness. Together, they bring completeness. Ayodhya's development should reflect this fusion, advanced AI, robotics, and space science powered by inner stillness and compassion. Research centers could include meditation chambers, reminding scientists that creativity blossoms in silence. When research becomes service oriented and ego free, every discovery becomes an offering to humanity. The Vedic Sun envisions labs for sound healing, cosmic energy research, and Agni based environmental purification. We can combine ancient Agnihotra principles with modern energy conservation. Ayodhya will become a global knowledge hub, a living laboratory of spiritual technology. Now, how can the Sudarshan Kriya transform the working culture in futuristic Ayodhya? Sudarshan Kriya brings clarity, calmness, and high energy. In future workplaces, from IT tasks to government offices, employees who practice Kriya will manage stress effortlessly and innovate fearlessly. Gurudev's guidance is simple: when the breath flows in rhythm, the mind becomes centered, and entire city breathing in harmony becomes unstoppable. Ayodhya's industries will thrive not through competition, but through collaboration and intuition born of inner peace. What will education in Ayodhya 1000 years from now look like? Education will focus equally on Atmagyan, the self knowledge, and Vigyan, or the scientific knowledge. Gurukuls will use holographic teaching, but every class will begin with silence, meditation, and gratitude. The Vedas will meet quantum physics. Students will study ancient languages through immersive AI simulations. The essence will remain humility before learning. Gurudev's wisdom will form the foundation. The purpose of education is to broaden the mind and deepen the roots. Now, how can the Art of Living's 60 plus programs contribute to this Ayodhya vision? Each program, from happiness course to Yes Plus to DSN, builds the emotional intelligence and resilience. In future Ayodhya, these programs will be integrated into civic education, governance, and corporate training. The Vedic Sansthan will align its yagyas and rituals with these programs. Science of mind and science of mantras working together. Together, they will ensure that progress remains rooted in purity. Now, how can ancient Agni Karyams be modernized without losing authenticity? Through scientific study and digital archiving of mantras using thermal cameras, we can measure energetic shifts during homas. This will bridge faith with measurable science. Gurudev encourages the spirit of inquiry. Faith and science are two sides of the same coin. When both are honored, Ayodhya will shine as the capital of spiritual science. Now, what role will women play in the future Ram Rajya? Women will be leaders in research, rituals, and governance. Gurudev's teachings empower them to balance strength with grace. Every temple and office will reflect equal participation. Vedic tradition has honored women as Shakti Swarupa. In future Ayodhya, priestesses, healers, and scientists will stand side by side. The Vedic Damsan's son will train women pundits in Rigvedic chanting and leadership roles. How will Ayodhya redefine health and wellness? Ayurveda hospitals will integrate pranayama, marma, and digital diagnostics. The Shishi Tattvasa's model will expand into preventive medicine ecosystems. Healing rituals like Dhanvantari Homa will support medical research. As Gurudev says, true health is a calm mind, pure heart, and spontaneous joy. Ayodhya will embody holistic healthcare. How can meditation become a part of governance in Ram Rajya? Decision makers will meditate daily before major policy discussions. It aligns personal intention with the collective good. Ancient kings performed Sandhya Vandanam before governance. Ayodhya's future parliament will start its sessions with silence, creating clarity and compassion. Gurudev's quote sums it up: in silence, the right action draws naturally. Now, what is the role of Saryu River in Ayodhya's spiritual rebirth? Jagadav, the Saryu symbolizes purity and flow. Clean energy technologies, sacred rituals, and ecological responsibility will restore it to divine clarity. Gurudev says, Mission Green Earth can inspire you to maintain the river's sanctity. When the Saryu flows clean, consciousness itself flows freely through Ayodhya. Now, what will tourism look like in futuristic Ayodhya? Visitors won't just come for sightseeing, they will come for transformation. Meditation circuits, sound healing domes, and light shows of Ramayana will attract millions. Every guest will experience Atiti Devo Bhava with Vedic precision. Tourism will be spiritual education, as Gurudev says. When you serve, a joy flows. When you share wisdom, the world prospers. Now, how will digital technology and artificial intelligence coexist with spirituality and Ayodhya's future? Gurudev once said technology should make life simpler, not more stressful. The future Ayodhya will embody this. AI will serve consciousness. Every home will have virtual meditation rooms guided by AI teachers trained on Gurudev's discourses. Artificial intelligence will assist in Sanskrit preservation, digital yagyas, and intuitive diagnostics, all inspired by human intuition, not to replace it. The Vedic Dhammasasthan will curate digital dharma, a repository of sacred chants and high resolution sound frequencies. Using quantum computing to decode ancient mantras, technology will thus become a sacred tool, an offering to the divine intelligence. Now, how can the Gurudev's concept of a one world family manifest in Ayodhya's governance? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, will be Ayodhya's constitutional spirit. Citizens from all nations will be welcome for learning, service, and innovation. Embassies will host meditation centers instead of negotiation tables. Decisions will be made in the light of consciousness. Gurudev's wisdom reminds us when you identify with the whole world, there is no conflict, only collaboration. How will the Art of Living's global presence strengthen Ayodhya's influence? With centers in over 180 countries, Art of Living will serve as a spiritual foreign ministry of Ayodhya. Every center will represent a branch of Ayodhya's consciousness, spreading peace, yoga, and seva. Ayodhya's model of inclusive spiritual governance will guide other nations. Just as Vatican leads faith and Mecca leads devotion, Ayodhya will lead awareness, a spiritual united nations grounded in silence. How will the zero ego culture become the foundation of Ayodhya's social structure? Gurudev says ego is the shadow of ignorance. In Ayodhya, education and meditation will dissolve this shadow early in life. The ego free citizen will act not from competition but contribution. Every ritual, office, and institution will begin with pranam, the bowing gesture that reminds one, I am nothing, you are everything. Ego free technology, ego free leadership, and ego free art will define the civilization. How will the youth of Ayodhya be prepared for this global spiritual era? Through integrated training, meditation, martial arts, and entrepreneurship, the youth will be yogis in boardrooms and coders in temples. Gurukuls will teach not just scriptures, but sustainability, robotics, and ecological innovation. Gurudev's inspiration, dynamism, and silence must go hand in hand, will define the next generation of leaders. Now, what will be the role of interfaith harmony in futuristic Ayodhya? Gurudev says interfaith dialogues have already united millions. Future Ayodhya will host a world consciousness parliament, saints, scientists, and seekers sitting together in dialogue. The Vedic Dhammasansan will preserve ancient rituals while welcoming all paths. The Sufi music, Buddhist chants, and Christian choirs will harmonize in devotion to one truth. Ayodhya will not convert, it will elevate. Now, how can Ayodhya become the global center for peace negotiations? Gurudev has mediated peace in Colombia, Iraq, and Sri Lanka. His model, listening, silence, and shared humanity, will be universally institutionalized in Ayodhya's Peace University. Now, before every negotiation, participants will sit in meditation before the Saryu. Beside the Saryu, from that silence, true resolutions will emerge. Gurudev's message, peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of connection, will be the guiding light. Now, how will the Ayodhya inspire sustainable living and environmental innovation? Solar power temples, eco domes, and organic farms will make Ayodhya a carbon negative city. Art of Living's river rejuvenation models will ensure Saryu remains pristine. The Sansan will revive Agni waste management, ancient irrigation, and sacred tree cultivation. Gurudev's principle, when you love nature, nature loves you back, will turn Ayodhya into the green heart of earth. How will the music and art evolve in the coming thousand years of Ayodhya? The Nada Yoga of Ayodhya will blend ancient ragas with futuristic frequencies. Artists will meditate before performance, producing divine resonance that heals the listener. The Sansthan will archive Vedic sound waves digitally, creating a temple of sound. Gurudev's idea, art connects you to the spirit, will inspire a new golden age of sacred creativity. Now, how will the Ayodhya balance material prosperity with spiritual depth? The prosperity without peace is hollow. Through meditation, gratitude, and seva, wealth will circulate as a sacred responsibility, not greed. Gurudev's wisdom of spirituality is a skill to be happy amidst all challenges, will ensure balance, and Ayodhya will thrive with abundance and humility, progress, and purity, the true essence of Ram Rajya. Now, how will education in future Ayodhya integrate Vedic knowledge with modern sciences? His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji emphasizes knowledge without wisdom is empty. Wisdom without application is incomplete. In the future Ayodhya, education will become a holistic integration of Atma Gyan, the self knowledge, and Vigyan, the scientific knowledge. Students will study physics, AI, and biotechnology alongside meditation, ethics, and Vedic scriptures. The curriculum will cultivate intuition, creativity, and emotional intelligence alongside technical proficiency. Every classroom will begin and end with meditation to stabilize focus and energy. Technology will enhance learning through holographic simulations, AI tutors, and virtual laboratories. Yet, spiritual principles will guide practical applications. Students will participate in daily seva and community projects to develop empathy and leadership. Knowledge will no longer be for competition but for contribution to society. Now, in Vedic tradition, Gurukuls ensured learning was experiential and transformative. Future Ayodhya will expand on this legacy. Students will perform Agni Karyams, observe rituals, and understand cosmic alignments to experience science spiritually. Vedic mathematics will be taught alongside data science, Ayurveda alongside modern medicine. By fusing inner development with external skills, Ayodhya's universities will produce global leaders who innovate with integrity and compassion. Gurudev's guidance ensures that learning is not just intellectual mastery, but mastery over self, which will define the world's most advanced civilization. Now, how will the global universities and research centers thrive in futuristic Ayodhya? Ayodhya will emerge as a hub for international research collaborations. Universities will host scholars from across the world working on AI ethics, consciousness studies, and sustainable engineering and space research. Meditation centers will be embedded in campuses to help students explore intuition and creativity. Gurudev's teaching stressed that consciousness is the foundation of innovation. Technological advancements will only be meaningful when aligned with inner wisdom. Every academic program will integrate mindfulness, leadership, and dharmic ethics to create not only competent professionals but compassionate citizens. The Sansthan will collaborate with these universities to provide guidance on integrating Vedic knowledge with research. Special courses in Yagya science, meditation, neuroscience, and cosmic energy engineering will be introduced. Yagyas and rituals will be documented scientifically, and students will engage in service oriented projects to understand Dharma as a living principle. The balance of cutting edge research and spiritual insight will make Ayodhya a model for the world, inspiring other nations to prioritize wisdom alongside innovation. How will the economy of Ayodhya balance material wealth with spiritual principles? Gurudev says true prosperity flows from joy, service, and integrity. The Ayodhya economy will embrace conscious capitalism where businesses prioritize ethical practices, community welfare, and environmental sustainability. Corporations will operate with ego free leadership, integrating meditation and emotional intelligence into corporate culture. Profits will circulate as social wealth, funding schools, hospitals, and environmental projects and cultural preservation. Traditional artisans and farmers will thrive alongside high tech industries, ensuring equitable prosperity. Spiritual principles such as truthfulness, non exploitation, and generosity will guide commerce. The Sansthan will oversee temple linked enterprises, ensuring revenue supports public good, agri tech, Ayurveda exports, and spiritual tourism, and eco friendly urban development will generate wealth without greed. Yagyas and rituals will strengthen social cohesion and ethical business practices. Every citizen will participate in seva and resource sharing, making prosperity both tangible and spiritually grounded. With Gurudev's wisdom, Ayodhya will become the model for a consciousness based economy where abundance is measured not just in material terms but in happiness, compassion, and harmony. How will the Ayodhya's healthcare system integrate modern medicine with Ayurveda and wellness practices? Jagada Future Ayodhya will redefine healthcare by combining Western medicine, Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and preventive wellnesses. Hospitals will have integrated healing centers where patients receive treatment for body, mind, and consciousness. Sudarshan Kriya, Pranayama, and guided meditation will complement conventional therapies to reduce stress, accelerate recovery, and enhance immunity. Gurudev emphasizes health is the balance of body, mind, and spirit, and this principle will guide hospitals, clinics, and community wellness programs. AI diagnostics and telemedicine will ensure accessibility, while meditation will maintain mental resilience. The Sansthan will conduct daily homas, mantra therapies, and Vedic rituals in hospital environments to purify energy and enhance healing. Ayurveda will be scientifically validated and integrated with pharmaceuticals. Wellness retreats will educate citizens about diet, lifestyle, and mindfulness. Through these combined efforts, Ayodhya will not only heal its own people but also serve as a global center for holistic healthcare, demonstrating that longevity, vitality, and spiritual awareness can coexist harmoniously. Now, how will the future Ayodhya become a center of international spiritual tourism? Ayodhya's tourism will focus on transformation, not mere sightseeing. Visitors will experience meditation retreats, Sudarshan Kriya, Vedic chanting, and Seva projects. Cultural festivals such as Ram Navami, Chatra Navratri, and Guru Purnama will attract millions. But the real offering will be inner experience. Gurudev says tourism should awaken the soul, not just fill the eyes. Holographic Ramayana exhibitions, interactive Vedic science labs, and immersive sound and light experiences will make Ayodhya a global spiritual destination. Vedic Dham Sansthan will organize daily Agni Karyams, homas, and Vedic workshops for tourism and tourists. Pilgrims and visitors will learn Sanskrit chants, meditation techniques, and conscious seva. Ecotourism along the Saryu River, combined with modern infrastructure, high speed rails, airports, and hotels, will provide comfort without compromising spirituality. Ayodhya will be a blueprint for spiritual tourism, education, devotion, and joy in perfect balance. How will global peace initiatives be centered in Ayodhya? Gurudev has mediated conflicts worldwide, showing that silence, empathy, and meditation resolve disputes faster than dialogue alone. In the future, Ayodhya will host the Global Peace Council, where diplomats, spiritual leaders, and scientists meditate together before negotiations. Guided meditation sessions will precede decision making, ensuring clarity, compassion, and zero ego. Art of Living programs will train leaders to balance power with responsibility. Homas like Vishwa Shanti Homa will purify collective energies. The Saryu River will serve as a symbol of harmony, reflecting global cooperation. Through rituals, meditation, and seva driven diplomacy, Ayodhya will act as the conscience of the world, inspiring peace initiatives across continents and generations. Now, how will Ayodhya integrate AI in governance without losing ethical grounding? Decorative AI will be used to optimize public services, urban planning, and resource distribution. Ethical frameworks taught by Gurudev, like honesty, empathy, and selflessness, will be encoded into governance algorithms. Leaders will meditate daily to ensure decisions are human-centered, not mechanical. Temple management, ritual scheduling, and city infrastructure will use AI tools combined with human oversight. Every technological intervention will be verified by dharmic principles, ensuring efficiency without compromising ethics. Zero ego and spiritual alignment will guide AI governance. How will futuristic Ayodhya nurture creativity and arts? Gurudev teaches that creativity flows naturally when the mind is still. Art hubs and music labs and design centers will integrate meditation into the creative process. Ancient ragas and modern music technology will blend to produce spirituality and spiritually elevating art. Temples will host performance spaces where rituals, drama, and music are taught as expressions of dharma. Sound therapy, Nada yoga, and sacred arts will transform citizens' aesthetic and spiritual awareness. How will the future Ayodhya's infrastructure reflect sustainability and consciousness? Jagadev buildings will use Vastu aligned design, solar energy, rainwater harvesting, and eco friendly materials. Streets will be pedestrian friendly, meditation gardens abundant, and transportation carbon neutral. Gurudev emphasizes when cities respect nature, humanity flourishes. Energy efficient Agni powered purification, cellular rejuvenation, and sacred groves will make Ayodhya an example of dharmic urban planning. Sustainability will not be optional, it will be the very ethos of the city. How will futuristic Ayodhya integrate spiritual practices into daily life for all citizens? Meditation, yoga, mantra chanting, and seva will be woven into every school, workplace, and home. Gurudev teaches spirituality is not a practice, it is the very rhythm of life. Citizens will rise, work, innovate, and relax in alignment with inner harmony, ensuring every action is conscious and balanced. Homas, yagnikariums, and the satsangs will be community activities. Temples will become civic hubs, promoting health, knowledge, and compassion. Every citizen will participate in the spiritual heartbeat of Ayodhya, making it a living Ram Rajya for the millennia. How will the futuristic Ayodhya become a model for ethical governance and leadership? His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji emphasizes leadership is not about power, it's about service and clarity. In the future Ayodhya, governance will be guided by meditation, selfless service, and collective dharmic wisdom. Leaders will undergo daily Sudarshan Kriya sessions to maintain emotional balance and clarity of thought. Decision making will be transparent, participatory, and free from ego driven biases. Policies will prioritize welfare, sustainability, education, and spiritual development, ensuring that every citizen, irrespective of age, gender, or background, benefits from progress. Ethical governance will also mean integrating ancient wisdom with modern technology. AI supported analytics will aid policy creation while ensuring human values are preserved. Leaders will be evaluated not just by economic growth but by societal well being, happiness in diocese, and environmental impact. Now, the Vedic Dhammasana envisions a ritual guided governance where decisions are informed by collective meditations and spiritual insights. Monthly Chaturmas Yagyas and Sandhya Satsangs will review societal challenges and generate community driven solutions. Transparency will be enhanced using blockchain for civic services, ensuring that no resources are misused. Gurudev's wisdom teaches that true leadership dissolves a personal ego in service of the greater good. Ayodhya will set a global example where governance, ethics, and spirituality converge to create a city that thrives in material wealth, conscious living, and universal respect. Now, how will futuristic Ayodhya foster global innovation and creativity? Gurudev says creativity blossoms when the mind is calm and purpose driven. Ayodhya will cultivate innovation by blending meditation and mindfulness with the scientific inquiry. Research hubs will integrate AI, quantum computing, and robotics with the ancient Vedic problem solving techniques. Students, professionals, and spiritual seekers will engage in collaborative projects that focus on sustainability, peace, and human well being. Art and technology will coexist from Vedic music inspired sound technologies to eco friendly urban design solutions. This culture of innovation will nurture solutions that are scalable globally while remaining ethically grounded. Through Vedic innovation labs, young scientists and spiritual practitioners will experiment with energy efficient systems, sustainable agriculture, and consciousness linked AI models. The Sansthan will organize global Dharma hackathons where spiritual and technological challenges are solved collectively. Gurudev's philosophy will guide the process. When creativity is rooted in compassion, it benefits humanity, not just profit. How will the futuristic Ayodhya integrate spiritual tourism with educational excellence? Tourists will participate in workshops, yoga, meditation, Vedic science, and ethical entrepreneurship programs. Ayodhya will offer immersive learning experiences that go beyond sightseeing. Every temple, museum, and retreat will double as a learning center. Gurudev's vision is knowledge and devotion must go hand in hand. When visitors learn that transform, they transform. Now, the Sansthan will coordinate guided tours that combine cultural history, meditation sessions, and practical workshops. For instance, tourists can attend Sudarshan Kriya sessions, participate in Agnikaryams, or learn Sanskrit chants. Spiritual tourism will create jobs, encourage global collaborations, and ensure that every visitor contributes positively to the city's welfare and energy. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya promote women's empowerment? Gurudev emphasizes empower women and society thrives. Women will hold leadership positions in governance, education, healthcare, and spiritual institutions. Entrepreneurship programs will be available for all skill levels. Meditation and Sudarshan Kriya will be taught to women as a tool for mental clarity, courage, and emotional strength. The Sansthan will train female priests, teachers, and scientists and doctors. Women will participate in homas, Vedic recitations, and decision making councils. Ayodhya will become a model city where women enjoy dignity, respect, and equal opportunity, a living manifestation of Shakti in Ram Rajya. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya promote intergenerational learning? Gurudev says wisdom is timeless and learning should be continuous in Ayodhya. Children will learn from elders through storytelling, meditation, and seva. Elders will engage in lifelong learning through digital platforms and workshops. Education will be experiential, combining history, ethics, and modern science. Gurukuls and community centers will create mentoring programs connecting youth with Vedic scholars, scientists, and artists. Festivals will involve all ages participating in rituals, workshops, and knowledge sharing. This approach will preserve cultural continuity while promoting innovation and adaptability. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya maintain ecological balance? Gurudev emphasizes nature is a reflection of our consciousness. Ayodhya will adopt renewable energy, water recycling, vertical farming, and solar power transport. Sacred groves, clean rivers, and green public spaces will enhance both ecology and mental well being. Rituals such as the Saryu Shuddhikaran Homas will restore river purity. Citizens will plant trees during festivals. Waste will be converted to energy. Urban planning will prioritize harmony with nature and environment that nurtures both the body and consciousness. Now, how will this futuristic Ayodhya ensure healthcare accessibility for all? Hospitals will integrate Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and modern medicine. Preventive health programs and mental wellness workshops will be mandatory in schools and workplaces. Gurudev's vision, a healthy mind and body, are essential for a conscious society. Telemedicine, AI diagnostics, and mobile wellness clinics will reach remote villages. Homas and wellness rituals will support physical and mental health. Ayodhya's healthcare will be a global model for combining science, spirituality, and compassionate service. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya maintain zero ego in a globalized context? While Gurudev teaches ego as the root of conflict, while ego is necessary to get the work done, so Gurudev talks about the seven levels of existence. So ego is the sixth level of existence, which is necessary but only in a sattvic amount and quantity. Citizens and leaders will practice meditation and self-inquiry daily. Education will emphasize humility, empathy, and service. Technology will aid efficiency, but decision making will remain guided by dharma. Rituals like Guru Pujas, Agni Karams, and collective meditation sessions will reinforce selflessness. Public service, corporate ethics, and scientific research will all operate within zero ego frameworks. Ayodhya will exemplify a civilization where pride gives way to harmony, making the city a global ethical benchmark. How will this futuristic Ayodhya serve as a center for global cultural exchange? Gurudev emphasizes when cultures meet in respect, creativity, and peace flourish. Ayodhya will host international festivals, arts programs, and interfaith dialogues. Visitors will participate in yoga, music, literature, and spiritual workshops, creating a global learning ecosystem. Every festival, including Ram Navami and Chaitra Navratri, will invite international scholars, artists, and practitioners. Virtual reality experiences will allow global participants to immerse themselves in Ayodhya's cultural and spiritual landscape. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya integrate space exploration with spiritual awareness? Gurudev says consciousness is the final frontier. Space research institutions in Ayodhya will combine meditation, intuition, and technology to explore cosmic energy, planetary alignment, and human potential in zero gravity environments. Homas and mantras will be synchronized with the cosmic events to enhance astronauts' mental clarity and energy. Now, how will this futuristic Ayodhya train spiritual leaders for the modern world? His Holiness Gurudev Shishya Vishangaji emphasizes true leadership is the ability to serve without attachment and guide without ego. In future Ayodhya, spiritual leaders will be trained not only in meditation, Vedic wisdom, and rituals, but also in technology, global ethics, education, and administration. Courses will integrate practical management skills with deep inner development, ensuring leaders can handle complex global challenges while remaining grounded in dharmic principles. Sudarshan Kriya, advanced meditation techniques, and mindfulness exercises will form the daily routine. Leaders will be evaluated by their capacity for empathy, clarity of mind, ethical decision making, and ability to inspire collaboration across communities. The Sansthan will develop global Gurukul programs that combine ancient Vedantic studies, leadership simulations, AI assisted problem solving, and real world seva projects. Leaders will participate in international exchanges. The Sansthan will develop global Gurukul programs that combine ancient Vedantic studies, leadership simulations, AI assisted problem solving, and real world civil projects. Leaders will participate in international exchanges, interfaith dialogues, and spiritual diplomacy initiatives. Regular Guru Pujas and Agni Karams will maintain their energetic alignment, connecting them to the spiritual heart of Ayodhya. Through this holistic approach, future leaders will serve as ambassadors of zero ego governance, spiritual wisdom, and ethical innovation, ensuring that Ram Rajya principles scale globally. Now, how will the futuristic Ayodhya maintain a balance between tradition and modernity? Gurudev teaches that tradition is the seed, modernity is the branch. Both must grow in harmony in future. Ayodhya, ancient rituals, Vedic chants, and festivals will coexist seamlessly with modern education, research, and technology. Temples will use digital interfaces for learning and immersive storytelling, while public infrastructure will respect Vastu principles with and ecological integrity. The Sansan will preserve authentic rituals while embracing modern efficiency, AI scheduling for pujas, holographic Vedic teachings, and renewable energy powered temple complexes. Citizens will honor age old values in daily life while participating in high tech governance, education, and commerce. Tradition and modernity will complement, not compete, creating a balanced society rooted in Dharma. How will the futuristic Ayodhya encourage citizen participation in city building? Gurudev emphasizes a conscious society as a participatory society. Residents will contribute through seva, innovation, and voluntary governance councils. Every citizen will have opportunities to participate in planning, cultural events, environmental projects, and welfare programs. Meditation and mindfulness sessions will ensure decisions are guided by clarity, not ego. Through digital platforms, citizens will propose initiatives, vote on community projects, and participate in festivals, homas, and tree planting drives. Schools will teach civic responsibility alongside dharmic principles. This approach will create a society where prosperity, spirituality, and progress are collectively nurtured. How will the futuristic Ayodhya integrate global collaboration and cultural diplomacy? Gurudev says true diplomacy arises from empathy and shared consciousness. Ayodhya will host international conferences on peace, sustainability, and consciousness research. Interfaith dialogues and collaborative research will become norms. The Sansthan will organize global cultural festivals, meditation retreats, and educational exchanges. Homas and Vedic rituals will serve as symbolic acts of unity, enhancing global cooperation. Through this model, Ayodhya will inspire worldwide ethical governance and spiritual collaboration. How will this futuristic Ayodhya ensure lifelong learning and continuous personal growth? Gurudev emphasizes learning is the art of life itself. Continuous education, meditation, and self reflection will be embedded into every citizen's lifestyle. Retreats, workshops, and online courses will encourage lifelong growth in intellect, consciousness, and emotional intelligence. The Sansthan will develop lifelong curricula combining Vedic wisdom, modern sciences, arts, and meditation. Community libraries, digital archives, and spiritual innovation labs will ensure that learning is dynamic and participatory. Citizens will grow not just professionally but spiritually, cultivating wisdom alongside prosperity. How will the futuristic Ayodhya embody the ideals of Ram Rajya for the next millennia? Gurudev's vision of Ram Rajya is a society of abundance, wisdom, compassion, and zero ego. In the coming 1,000 years, Ayodhya will be a city where spiritual practices, education, science, and governance coexist harmoniously. Meditation, seva, and ritual will guide daily life, while technology, research, and commerce will serve the greater good. Citizens will experience contentment, creativity, and global connectedness. Ram Rajya will manifest as a moral civilization where prosperity is ethical, leadership is selfless, and knowledge is universal. Vedic Dharma Sansthan will ensure that rituals, homas, and festivals remain integral to city life, harmonizing spiritual energy with societal progress. Infrastructure, education, healthcare, and economy will all reflect dharmic values guided by Gurudev's wisdom. Ayodhya will radiate spiritual consciousness, sustainable development, and zero ego governance, making it a global beacon of harmony, learning, and divine prosperity for centuries to come. Jai Gurudev.